All right, so the lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Right. So the first day and the second day and the third day existed before these lights in the firmament were there to make days possible.
Right.
I mean, this is virtually impossible to visualize, isn't it? We can't really expect. I mean, our students must be thoroughly confused by this point.
Yeah, in the best cases, and culturally in Japan, these details would be of extraordinarily large importance. The sequence and the detail.
Yeah.
And here it seems to be,
I mean, there's not even any kind of acknowledgement that this might be some kind of a problem. We've got days being talked about before there was a sun, and the purpose of the sun is for there to be days.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's explicitly stated. I think our Japanese students are going to be like right from the off here. They're right from the very word go. They're going to be thinking, well, this Lord their God is not a logical being.
Yeah.
And this account does not hang together in a logical way.
No.
And of course, we wouldn't have any trouble if we could just say, I mean, as I would, well, I mean, these people saw things in terms of symbols. The people who wrote this and the people who read it or transmitted it orally for hundreds of years, they were oriented towards seeing things in a symbolic way, a metaphorical way, and would probably be gobsmacked. That I mean, I'm sure would be gobsmacked, that anybody would imagine that it should be somehow literally true.
Oh, yes. That's not what you're trying to do here.
It doesn't seem to be. I mean, if you were trying to be literally true, you would be a lot more systematic about it.
No. We're trying to create a sense of cosmic wonderment and the abilities of a powerful and so far very kind and grace-giving God.
Yes, he only wants to make things that are good. What he makes is good.
I do see some engineering here because you have the firmament, and it's almost like if you were building a building or house and you put in the electrical system and you have your sockets and your light is out there somewhere. It's been created, but you bring in your light bulbs and kind of plug them in, and that's really what the stars are the lights of the night that God created to help us through this very bad darkness. So, and then divide the day from the night. So now we can do that, and then let them be for signs and for seasons and for day. All right, to signal basically time. Time. We have time now.
Yeah. We have time, and therefore, from now on, talking in terms of days and nights does make sense. But before the sun, the firmament of heaven, the lights in the firmament were there to divide the day from the night, we wouldn't have had that. So, yeah, well, we're faced with that basic illogicality. The other thing that I would pick up on here is the signs. This is presumably astrology, right? I mean, seeing meaning in the stars.
I'm glad you said that, because they lived in this cosmic universe, and we can be, the first thing I think is, okay, it's pre-scientific, so none of this has to make sense in our logical way of thinking or scientific way of thinking. But then their view of the cosmos was so much more advanced than ours. And I don't know, you're out a little ways. At night, can you see the stars?
We can see some, but nothing like we could see, for example, when we were in New Caledonia or even in the mountains in Spain. Anywhere around here, it's going to be pretty hazy.
and I'm in town, and there's so much ambient light. There's some winter nights where you get a pretty good view, but these people lived under this huge sky dome because that's what it looks like. If you're in Montana or Idaho or Spain or whatnot, and you're looking up and you're in a mountain and there's no ambient light, it looks like you're in a large planetarium. It's just easy to see. But then you would have a relationship with the night that we just don't have, most of us. And
the sense of the vastness of space. I mean, it is kind of sad, really, that you think of lights traveling through space for millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of light years, to be erased in the last millisecond as it comes to the last part of its journey. So
their relationship with the cosmos that we live in, was far more energized and far more animated. And the stars to them and the sun, everything was far closer. And and signal relationship. They knew something was going on up there, and paid a lot more attention to the cosmic world that we live in than we do.
It seems to be astrological. I mean, the early modern Puritans, for example, a lot of them paid a lot of weight to astrology.
Yeah. And people still do.
But it doesn't tend to be so much of a Christian thing, does it?
It seems sometimes to be considered, I'm sure, in some Christian
kind of unchristian thing. It's a sort of a superstition.
Superstition, pagan, heathen, whatever. All right, let there be lights for the firmament of heaven and give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. Okay, the big sun and moon. God made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon earth. So plugging in the light bulbs and bringing the other lights through.
Right.
And to rule over the day and over the night, to divide the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good. Again, repetition and division of light and dark, and the evening and morning were the fourth day.